Hi, Nick Duffy here from MMG Golf and Nick Duffy Golf. Here to talk a little bit about chipping for average golfers. What I tend to see a lot of times whenever I get, students come to lessons and talk a little bit about maybe a tip they saw on YouTube or just something in general of something they saw on Instagram or a lesson they saw from a coach. When it comes to chipping, I think a lot of players are reading stuff of players who already are pretty good about leaning the shaft maybe a little bit too much through the ball. So what you tend to see is a little misinformation for these average golfers who don't really know how to diagnose themselves. So a lot of the tips in chipping for the last, I'd say 10 years, maybe a little bit more, it's kind of started really around, I'd say, guys like Stan Utley, really talking about using the bounce. So I have guys coming in and talk about using the bounce more. And what I see out of most average golfers is they already use the bounce enough and trying to use it more. They're actually dumping it early, tending to actually blade shots and hit shots fat. So you're seeing a lot of stalling, hands stopping back here, backwards pivots through the shot. So with these players, trying to use the bounce more would actually just make it worse. So I do find it kind of funny. That is one place where old school chipping is actually really good with the average players, with the guys who actually already are using the bounce, already adding loft through the shot. They don't need to actually add any more. They don't need to actually use the bounce more. They need to actually just kind of tone it down just a little bit so they can find their swing bottom. A lot of times these same players are the ones who are backing up in shots and blading it and hitting it fat more because of body motion, less because of trying to use the bounce. So this is a term that I think's been kind of used overkill lately. I think it's more of a better player issue. Someone like me who tends to lean the shaft too much and dig it too much, I tend to have to work on using the bounce more. So that's an issue for different types of players. So one drill I love to use with players who have this issue is actually just to kind of use the old school, rib crusher drill, punisher drill, where you just kind of grip the alignment stick on the side of the shaft, lead side. You put it right against your lead side rib cage under your arm, so we don't have it over the arm. I've seen people try to do that mistake before. And you're basically going to try to keep that stick as far away from your body as possible throughout the swing. What it's going to help you do, first off, you're going to learn the relationship between rotation, shaft lean, and then also you kind of learn a little bit more about your pivot. Because if I go through here and I try to back up on this shot, it's going to be really hard to keep that away from me and make contact with the ball. Whereas if I stay forward, rotate, and keep that shaft lean and not worry about the punisher hitting me in the ribs. So I guess a big message of this, make sure you know what you're doing in your setup, in your game before you learn a new buzzword, learn a new tip, and all of a sudden, oh man, let me just go out and use this. Because you could be doing the complete opposite of what you need in your game. One place I like to go to, especially with kind of average golfers and chipping, is learn to kind of stay on your left side first. And make sure you know what shaft lean is. Because if you have shaft lean, you're staying left, and then you're still digging in, now would be the time to look at one of the videos on how to use bounce, how to actually learn to hit little specialty shots around the greens, maybe you have a bad lie. But if you are one of the players that struggle getting enough shaft lean, the last thing we want to do is try to actually use the bounce more. I think it's just been overdone. I think it's one of those things that we need to start learning a little bit more about what we actually do first. Then we can start finding the tips that are more appropriate to our skill level and to our game. So hopefully that'll help you out. If you have any questions, drop in the comments, and I hope it helps your game. Thanks. And once again, if you liked the video you just watched, please hit subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, let me know how we did. If there's any subjects you'd like for another video, please let me know in the comments. That way I can try my best to get those loaded up for you. Hopefully this helps you out and we can make you a better golfer. Thanks.